More and more women these days are struggling with PCOS, and so many patients come into Center Spring MD really wanting answers and understanding how to balance PCOS naturally. In this next video, I'm going to share my favorite tips for both diet and supplements that work to help you balance PCOS. Now, I've spent a lot of time sharing my story about PCOS. I personally have PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome, but it's an epidemic, and many of you are out there suffering from PCOS and don't even know it. And the biggest fallacy, the biggest myth, is that it's just a disease for teenagers and for fertility years. Not true. There's a PCOS perimenopause pattern, a PCOS menopause pattern, so we really have to understand what's going on here. Now, first of all, PCOS is a hormone pattern, or really a hormone disruption, where you have high androgens, so that's high testosterone, free testosterone, and DHEA. You actually have high insulin, which raises your blood sugar, leads to a lot of belly fat, hair loss, high cortisol, a lot going on with PCOS. But in this video, we're going to talk about how to manage PCOS naturally using diet and supplements. All right, I just laid out some of the common hormone patterns there, and I always like to start with diet because I do truly believe food is medicine. The number one thing to do if you've got PCOS is to begin adopting and acclimating to an anti-inflammatory diet. This means lowering sugar. Sugar, we know, spikes cortisol, spikes your insulin, spikes androgens. In addition to that, we also know that processed and packaged foods are really hard on the liver. In fact, we think that some of the rise in PCOS is due to the increased use and consumption of highly chemically laden foods. So that's the other part of this, is really get the junk out, right? So if you have a choice, I often tell patients, if you have a choice, you're out and about, and you have real clean food to choose from, or you have something packaged or processed to choose from, choose the cleaner version. It makes a big difference. All right, the third thing you want to be thinking about when it comes to PCOS and food is increasing your dietary fiber. That's why things like cruciferous vegetables matter, because they have a lot of fiber. Bringing more of those in throughout the day makes a difference for your hormones. In addition, the whole family of cruciferous vegetables actually helps to metabolize androgens and estrogen. So my general rule of thumb is at least about 4 servings per week. So trying to get these into your diet as well. Now, the other issue we have with PCOS is this whole idea of oxidative stress, meaning all the cells are simply not getting the nutrients and the oxygen we need. So we like upping our antioxidants through foods, and a lot of the foods that have a lot of pigment to it are going to have a ton of antioxidants in it. That's why I love berries. Here are a few of my favorites between raspberries and blueberries. Getting those into your diet, or leafy greens, right? Like the spinach, the kale, sweet potatoes. These things all have a ton of healthy antioxidants that support hormone balance. Okay, let's talk about one more thing when it comes to diet, maybe 2 more things when it comes to diet. Omega-3 fats, right? Again, they take the inflammation down. Now, sure, you can supplement them, but fatty fishes, your nuts, right here we have some walnuts. All of these are helpful in bringing your concentration of omega-3 fats up, lowering your inflammation, helping with something like PCOS and insulin resistance in the long term. All right, the last thing I wanted to talk about was the keto diet. So many of you asked me about that. Patients ask me about that all the time. And I actually have some videos about the keto diet right here on this channel if you want to check it out. Well, here's the deal with keto. It's a great temporary plan, right? It brings the carbohydrate load down, which is great for people with PCOS, helping their insulin resistance. But long term, it's not good because it crashes the thyroid and it indirectly impacts some of the other hormones. So you can do keto for a period of 6 weeks, but then you probably need to come off of it, do a modified version of it, and then cycle keto, right? Where maybe you're on it for a week, off it for 3, and you kind of mess around with it a little bit so that you keep your metabolism humming, your body's getting the nutrients and even some of the carbohydrates that it actually does need. So that's the dietary sort of picture of PCOS. What about nutrients, supplements? What can we do there? Now, it's no lie, and we've talked about this before, right, on this channel, that even those of us that try to eat the healthiest of foods are having an issue getting our nutrient loads up. So when I go to do testing in practice, I often find over and over again, folks are low in the nutrients that matter. And when it comes to PCOS, here's what you need to know. First of all, being low in magnesium. Magnesium is so important for all the hormones, but definitely important for blood sugar management and androgen balance. That's a big one. your vitamin B, your methylated B vitamins, B6 in particular, methylfolate in particular. We have it in some of the formulations that are on our Center Spring site, including My Boost, which was the origination product in the East-West line, and then this Methylplex B. But methylated B vitamins make a difference when it comes to hormone balance. So that's another one to think about. We know that zinc helps to balance your androgens, indirectly supports testosterone, but also supports progesterone. So really trying to up your zinc. And again, you could do it through food, but when you're dealing with PCOS, you need probably at least 15 milligrams of zinc every day. All right, let's talk about two more. Inositol is a nutrient that really does help to manage blood sugar. Inositol, remember, one of the big issues with PCOS is blood sugar instability. So going on about 1 gram to 2 grams of inositol every day can be helpful in terms of improving blood sugar stability and really improving the ovulatory response. So for all of you trying to get pregnant, one of my frequent regimens is to do inositol, magnesium, a methylated B, and then the next one, which is choline, because choline comes and cleans out the liver. At the bottom of all of this with PCOS is really this conversation around the liver. In fact, I talk a lot about dirty hormones or hormone metabolites that really get stuck in our body due to the chemical load, due to the environment, our stress, and so much more. Choline is one of the key nutrients to help clean the liver, bring the liver back into balance so it can package and process your hormones effectively. For example, one of the big patterns with androgen dominance, again, the high testosterone, high free testosterone, high DHEAS, even a high AMH, the issue with that is that the liver can't move it through. And then you get the acne and the hair loss and the belly fat, trouble getting pregnant, the hot flashes, the night sweats, and so much more. So choline, I usually also say start with 500 milligrams, work your way up to 1 gram a day. Now I have both choline and inositol in my hormone helper. It was actually formulated specifically for people with PCOS because we were having so many issues in practice trying to get all of this into balance. So those are the key nutrients to be thinking about when you're trying to manage your PCOS naturally. So whether you start with food or you move on to the supplements or you do a combination of both, I just want you to get answers to your issues with PCOS and be able to identify it, understand that it's underdiagnosed, and one of the most commonly gaslit issues in women's health. It's an epidemic. We have to understand how we can take care of this naturally because honestly, many of the medication and hormone options have a ton of side effects. I know I've been there myself and I don't want that for you. All right, I post new videos every week. Don't forget to like and subscribe.